Maybe also sort of reading and reciting it aloud, a lot of entertainment resources, different so-called calisthenics and exercises and different acting stages and acting studios, and a lot of gestures, motions, movements, a lot of very important resources, money, currency, supplies, materials, and resources and gestures, motions, movements, are very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, and we're family members, FMs, and family members, FMs, and family and friends, for example. For instance, so-called. Reading this a lot of different so-called excellent and good so-called conspiracies and plots to do excellent and good, different excellent and good so-called conspiracies and plots to do excellent and good, very important resources, books that are writing jokes, different so-called court cases, and books that are writing jokes, for example, and for instance, so-called, and we're family members, FMs and family members, FMs and family friends, for example, so-called, different books that are writing jokes, for example, age, year to year. And reading this aloud and saying this aloud, very personalized and customized, resources, monies, currencies, advertisements, medicine, supplies, resources, energies, and medicines, resources, very much personalized and customized. And for instance, so-called, and for instance, so-called, maybe about that, maybe not really about that, maybe about that, maybe not about that, maybe at that time, right time. And for instance, so-called, and paraphrase, quotation, summarize, abbreviated, and we're family members, FMs and family members, FMs and family and friends. Very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, and very excellent, fine and good about 100% of the time, very excellent, fine and good about 100% of the time, and we're real family members, FMs and family and friends, for example. And reading that aloud and saying it aloud, and the man, individual person said, paraphrase, quotation, summarize, abbreviated, the man, individual person said, paraphrase, quotation, summarize, abbreviated. Very important resources, money, currencies, supplies, materials, and resources, and the person, the individual, that probably feels bad for you, bad or sorry for you, if that happened, and we're family members or friends. A lot of jokes and bluffing and teasing and joking, bluffing and teasing and joking, very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, very excellent, fine and good about 100% of the time, and we're family members, FMs and family and friends, for example.